welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premiere podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Here we are, back at it again, recording yet another. You know, if you didn't notice, I was so loud at the top. I tried this new thing with this recorder. Hold on. The podcast records directly to computer. I've been using the same Zoom H6 handy recorder as the pass-through for 8 years. Been doing this 11 years. 8 years with this recorder. For the first time ever, instead of just clicking in and just going into the thing, I kind of just brought my voice up. Like the mic usually is off, and then I click it in, and then you can hear the static crackle of the mic turning on. I said this time, I says to myself, I'm gonna just fade my voice up. And guess what? I faded it too harshly, and it was so gosh dang loud. We have a special episode for you today. Sorry, I really choked up. I cleared my throat so hard, and we'll get to the people in a second. I cleared my throat so hard. I have 3 guitars sitting next to me. One's actually ukulele. I have 3 guitars: electric, acoustic, and ukulele. I cleared my throat so hard that the acoustic shook. That's not interesting in the slightest. Just wanted to let you know. Liana Liberato and Michael Costigan. These are the subjects of my talks today. We are discussing the 2nd season of Based on a True Story on Peacock. If you don't know, Based on a True Story is a dark comedy show that's about a podcast about true crime, which is, they're making true crime stuff. And it's a I gotta say, I knew it was going to be a breakout show. It's one of the few times I'm right about what's going to be a breakout show for a streaming platform. And let's just give it up for the lead actors, Kaylee Cuoco, Chris Messina. And it has a good story, and it's funny. I like Chris. He's a very funny guy. Kaylee's has already proven herself to be a funny person, time and time again. But when you see Chris Messina, and again, I did not speak to either of those people. When you see Chris Messina, you think, oh, this guy's just an actor. Oh, he's going to act. Oh, he's in this, he's in that. And then you remember he's in the Mindy Project. He's a funny guy. But I didn't talk to either of them. I talked to Liana Liberato. She's a wonderful actress who I have recently seen in the Scream movies, as well as Totally Killer, which is a movie I watched over the 30 days of October. And Michael Costigan, who was a film producer, who is making it this show. It's his show. He EP's a show. Also note that this is his first. He's done a lot of mini series that you will know. The Outsider, A Teacher, Under the Banner of Heaven. Based on a True Story is his first series. The movies he's worked on include Uncle Frank, Prometheus, The Counselor, and I'm missing one: American Gangster and Body of Lies. I mean, taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. Come on, Cyrus. I really enjoyed Cyrus. These are great interviews. Yes, they are junket style. It's not my fault. But I was so excited to talk to these two people. both for separate reasons. Mostly because I like them. Based on a true story, I believe is streaming, oh my gosh, tomorrow. As of recording this. Well, the embargo was lifted about 2 days ago, and I only post on Wednesdays for these special things, so there you go. So check out Based on a True Story on Peacock, November 21st. No plugs. That's it. If you want to see a video version of these talks, you know what? Usually I go on for a very long time. I think I did a pretty good job here. I think I did a pretty gosh darn good job. Not going on talking about this or that or whomever or whatever. Am I trying to get to 8 minutes so that I can have a 20-minute episode to put out? Yes, I am trying to get to an 8-minute 8-minute intro to the minimum so that it makes sense for me to put out an episode with 2 short interviews by themselves. If you want to see a video version of this, head to youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see video versions of the regular podcasts, including the Constitutionals podcast, which is this one, which is the Entertainment Business News podcast. I guess I should actually... This happens all the time. I forgot to start the song. This is like a professional. This is so professional of me. You can also find LinkedIn Logs, which is the job podcast, and Late Night Lately, the Late Night Show on that. Listen to those podcasts where you get your podcasts. TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, @C+comedy, me, @ChadBlackWhite. Thank you so much, and enjoy the 2 interviews. Bye-bye. Hi, Liana. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. How's this day of answering all these questions?
It's good. It's nice to like talk about the show and gush about it.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of making this season?
Honestly, I think just getting to hang out with everybody more. First season I was sort of told that my character was a bit of a seed. And then you get to see that storyline bloom a little bit more if we got a season 2. So I was very excited to hear we were getting another season, and I got to explore that. But also, I love Chris and Kaylee and Tom, and getting to spend more time with them is such a treat.
Yeah, are those your rankings for them? If I got Kaylee right now, went to her face, I said, Kaylee, she ranked you 2 below Chris.
Okay, you know what? If you talk to her today, you can tell her that, because she's fully aware that my love for Chris Messina just has no bounds. I just adore him.
Yeah.
But I love all of them equally. We all have like such different dynamics. And like Tom and I are like goofballs together. Like we're kind of the ones that go around on set and we act like kids, and we're like going up to the PAs and we're like, what's the hot goss? Like what's going on around here? And like Kaylee's very much like a sister to me, and Chris is just a beautiful salt of the earth human being.
Yeah. When did you feel that comfortable on set for this show in particular? When were you able to just open up and be as vulnerable as that and be goofy with the PAs and everything?
Almost immediately. This is one of those rare shows that, or at least I think it's rare, where everyone just really enjoyed being there. And there was no bad egg. There was no rough dynamics. I mean, it was such a joy to do this show. And, but then at the same time, I think just as an actor, stepping onto a set with so many pros, yes, there was a lot of comfort and like friendliness and excitement, but also at the same time, I sort of had this voice in my head a lot being like, you're here to learn, and you're gonna stumble and you're gonna make mistakes, and learn from them because you're learning from the best.
Right. I asked this not to start anything, but did you ever feel intimidated because you were with people who have these big careers? Chris was on multiple comedies and Oscar-winning movies. Kaylee is now this giant producer person in Hollywood. Was there ever a moment where you kind of felt like you weren't enough in that position?
I mean, the term that I have used a lot is I felt like a Prius merging into a NASCAR lane. I mean, and I was just trying to blend in, and hopefully
Mhm.
I did. I mean, I a lot of the times felt like I was flying by the seat of my pants, and I was like, okay, hold on, let's do this. I mean, but I don't ever want to think that I don't ever want to get on a set and think I know everything, and that and there's no space for me to learn. So ideally, I approach every job that way. I meet
Mhm.
someone and I'm like, how can I learn from you? And I think that the job would be really boring if I wasn't surrounded by people like that.
Right. Was there ever a point in the season where you felt like, I mean, as you said, you were the seed in this first season, and now you're kind of what's seeds turn into flowers. So you're a flower, and you were on the outskirts, and now you're kind of smack dab in the middle of the story of this season. Did you feel that sense of weight on you? Did it feel like you were like, I'm like almost the key to what's going on in this new season?
It was really exciting, and challenging. I think that any sort of nerves or hesitation that I might have had going into season two was very much eased when I got there, especially working with Tom Bateman because he was in a similar boat. Like our characters sort of do a bit of a 180
Yeah.
in terms of personality, and we both were kind of like, man, how are we going to approach this? And then the moment we got on set and we were in our very retreat, uh, you know, Zen wardrobes and our beads
Yeah.
and our linen
Yeah.
and we kind of and I remember us looking at each other and doing the like one of our first scenes together, and I was like, oh, okay, I this is clicking, I get this.
Mhm.
And when in doubt, we just sort of leaned on each other in scenes and allowed our characters to kind of be in their own world, and that made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I can definitely see it on screen. Everything you do is really good, and I'm excited to see where you all take this for the rest of the season. I've not seen the rest. I wanted to stay on top of it, but congratulations on this new season. Great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Very welcome, and have a good rest of your day. I think
Thank
that'll
you.
be Michael. Thank you so much for sitting down with me exclusively today.
But listen, thanks for the upgrade. I normally would put myself on a D list, so I like the upgrade of the podcast. So thank you.
Dude, are you kidding me? Looking at all of your credentials, there's no way I put you on a D list. At least B tier, B plus, right
Okay,
there.
thank you. B minus. All right,
B minus.
cool.
Yeah. This is your first show, like your first like series that has like a second season. What has that been like? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, first of all, but
Yeah.
what's that been like trying to up the ante to follow up that first season?
I have to say, I feel like I will never go back. I feel like I've seen the light because what's you literally at the end of a season, more often than not, you feel like, how am I going to do this again? I miss these
Mhm.
people. We just had the best time making something and we made it, hoping that the audience really loves it. And on this
Yeah.
one, literally the end of season one was a blast and Kaylee turning to everybody saying, "Oh, I have to go have a baby." And then she has a baby 10 days later. And so literally to have our gang back together,
Yeah.
um, and I hope it shows on the show, as fun as the show is, no joke. Like we have to remind ourselves, like, all right, guys, go back in. Next scene. It's so fun to make the show with this gang.
Yeah, I when it first premiered on Peacock, I knew
Yeah.
it was going to be one of the bigger shows, not because of the cast, but because it was something that's a little bit different. It's we're
Hmm.
following this family that's trying to build something with each other,
Yeah.
but then there's this huge twist that really pays off. And as we go into the second season, I watched the first season, haven't had a chance to do the second
Great.
season. It just I'm excited to see where these characters can go. And now that you have the sister playing a bigger role, then this is going to be huge, is what I'm feeling.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. Well, Liana, I mean, people know her from the Scream franchise. I know her for a million years. Like, wait till you see where she goes in this season and where Tom Bateman goes. But also Kaylee and Chris, who are now new parents. And, it's like in life, you make a bad decision and then you go with it. And by the end of the season, like, oh, we think it's done, but you can't just you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, as they say. And then
Right.
now it gets even wilder. And Melissa Barrera, like, I think it'll be so exciting to see her this season too.
Yeah, yeah. And you come from the world of film. You have
Hmm.
all these other great miniseries. Then you have Kaylee and you have Chris.
Hmm.
What is it like collaborating with such big names and big people?
Hmm.
Do they have any input on where characters go, where stories go, or how things turn out, or how does that work for you guys?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's really helpful is having artists who have good taste, right? So, you know, and pros. I mean, I know it from my partner in crime, Jason Bateman, who having all that TV experience, Kaylee, who literally, talk about like, oh, we're gonna change something. She's like, okay, give it to me, da da da, boom. Like she has all the experience. And Chris Messina, who's so incredible, Tom Bateman, who comes out of theater, Liana, who's brilliant. Um, we actually like including them in the process.
Good.
And and this season too, we were lucky enough to have Annie Weissman. I mean, Physical is one of our favorite shows.
Yeah.
And by having Annie come in, and I think the tone of it this season that we get to have all the fun we had with season one, but we actually get to live with the characters longer and the complications of the characters. And because the characters even have more screen time this season and you get to know them more, we really want the actors to be involved because they have great taste. And I think the audience is going to really get to see the results of that.
I hope so. And also one of my favorite because I come from the producer world. I was at Cartoon Network and CNN and all these places,
Oh,
but
cool.
what I really love about the show is that you play with time format. You're not restricted to just a half hour. You can go beyond that or less than that, whatever you need. And then also, there's a lot of great camera work and a lot of great
Hmm.
just sitting with characters and letting lines live and just be in this ether. Was that something that you guys took towards consciously, or was was it when you first started the show? Was that something you guys just ran with?
That is an awesome compliment. Thank you so much. Well, that comes in very large part. So, our producing director who did the pilot, who did the last episode, both of season one and now of season two, his name is Alex Bono. And he is so talented. Great director. Did a lot of documentary now. If people liked Russian Doll, he was really like the main director of season two. He's a camera guy who's also a storyteller. So
Mm,
he said in the very beginning, like, let's have fun. I mean, we're in a genre. This is true crime. Let's have fun with the pulpy nature of it. Let's
yeah.
have fun with the Hitchcockian um, element of it, and then the reality base of real life of being in LA, we would laugh and call it our sunshine noir, which it really hopefully feels like. And I'm so thrilled that you see that in the show because that's the thing. Like if somebody doesn't pick that up, you enjoy the show, but hopefully really there are baked in layers here so
Mhm.
you can kind of take in and enjoy as much of it as you want. Because let's be honest, how lucky are we? We got to enjoy it with this great group of artists. And for us, it was fun of like, how do we keep pushing it? And Peacock was an amazing partner. They were like, yeah, push it. Like, let's be original. And that visual aspect of it was a huge part of it.
I'm so glad to hear that Peacock was a great partner because you never know sometimes with these streaming platforms.
For
Um,
sure.
well, Michael, thank you so much. I'm a huge fan of yours.
It's so
Good
nice.
work
Thank you.
on this show, and I hope to see more of it.
Thank you. I'm excited for you to see the new season. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Cool. Take care. Bye.